All right, we're going to go over your review. One side looks like this. It just says Monday through Wednesday on the number 4. I don't have one to write on, so we're going to talk about it, and then I'll write some of it on the whiteboard. So if you look at it, number 1 says Sam has 5 times as many toy cars as he has toy planes. He has 35 toy cars. How many toy planes does he have? You're going to write the equation and the answer. So the first thing you should have done for the cubes, remember we started that last week, is circle all the numbers. So name the numbers that you circled. 5 and 35. You underline the question, read it with me. How many toy planes does he have? And then box in any keywords. What's the keyword you see? Right there, times. And you know that that means you're going to multiply. All right, so he has 5 toy cars. You're going to multiply that. Oops, sorry. Yeah, he does not have 5 toy cars. He has 35 toy cars. And then you multiply that by, it tells you that he has 5 times as many toy planes. Okay? That should be your equation, written a little bit neater than my messy green marker. 35 times 5. You could have also written it vertically like this. Okay? So if either way, it doesn't really matter which way that you wrote it, just solve it. 5 times 5 is, you should be saying them as I'm doing them, 25. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2. Make sure you cross it out. And if you wrote it down here, that's perfect too. It doesn't matter where you wrote it, as long as you cross it when you're done, and make sure that you add it. So 15 plus 2 is 17. He has 175 planes or toy planes. So make sure you write the label on that also. Look at number 2. Last month, Mr. Tom cut 22 coupons out of the newspaper. This month, he cut out twice as many coupons. How many coupons did he cut out of the newspaper this month? Circle your numbers. I see 22, and then I see a word that's not a number, but it tells me something. Did you say it? Twice. Twice tells me that it's what number? 2. It's 2 times, so circle that also. Underline the question, say it with me. How many coupons did he cut out of the newspaper this month? And then box in the keyword. What is it? I'm trying to read it backwards, so you should have already said it. He cut out as many, twice as many. What does that mean? How else can you say that? Twice as many? It's 2 times. He cut out 2 times as many. So you'll multiply above that boxed in word. You should have an X for multiply. And then write the equation, your answer. Well, he cut out 22 coupons, and I know the next time he did twice as many, which is 2 times. Okay? So I can do a couple of things. I can write it this way. I can write it vertically. I can multiply it. I should be able to do that mentally. Or I could do repeated addition. 22 plus 22. Same as saying 2 times 2 is 4. That's in the ones. And 2 times 2 tens is 4 tens. That goes in the 4s. Or in the tens, excuse me. So your answer should be 44. Good. Look at Tuesday. You're full of word problems today. So I hope that by the end, you're kind of getting cubes where you know to circle those numbers, underline the question, box in the keyword, and then go on and solve it. Tuesday, Jose said that all odd numbers between 2 and 20 are prime numbers. What's a prime number? Should have said a number that only has 2 factors, 1 and itself. Find an odd number between 2 and 20 that is not prime. Explain why it is not prime. So if you counted every other one, you counted the odd numbers, count by 2s, starting at 3, because 2 is an even number. 3, that only has 2 factors, 1 and 3. 5, 2 factors, 1 and 5. 7, 2 factors, 1 and 7. 9, 3 factors. All right, so 9 would be your number, and explain why this number is not prime. You should be saying it out loud right now. It's not prime because it has 3 factors. We know it's 1 and 9, but what else can I use to make 9? 3 times 3, so 3 is another factor. So you should have a sentence written here. Explain why the number is not prime. Hopefully you restated it. 9 is not prime because it has 3 factors, 1, 3, and 9. Okay? All right, go on to Wednesday. The cafeteria has 292 trays that can each hold 7 rolls. How many rolls can the trays hold in all? Now, before we even start, it has answer and explain. I'm gonna have to go back and read somewhere in here, see if it tells me a little bit more about that. Some of those explain ones are kind of odd because the fact is you can just solve it. And that's really what I want. That one, it's not a lot of explaining. If you wrote a sentence, wonderful. Give yourself a big star, like, hey, I did something really great. But a lot of those ones, if it's just a quick, easy word problem, I want you to solve it. And that's the big part that I'm worried about. So you should have circled the numbers. What numbers? Say them out loud. 292 and 7. Underline the question. Read the question. How many rolls can the trays hold in all? And box in the key word. Say it out loud if you know it. Each. Each is the key word there. And if you have each, what is that? If you're not sure, let me draw this bigger. I have 3 circles. They each have 2 dots in them. How many dots are there? Well, I had 3 circles. They each have 2 dots. And it equals 2, 4, 6. What is each? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Multiply. Each is multiply. All right? So you should have boxed in each and then put a plus sign above it to tell you what you're going to do. Oh my gosh, did I really just say plus? Multiply. It's a multiply sign. Goodness. It's late. It's not late where you are now, but it's late right now. So you should have put a multiplication sign up above each, but keep that in your mind. Each means multiply, even though your teacher just totally messed that up. So put a multiplication sign up there. And then this one, I would write vertically, especially because it has 3 digits. So it's 292 times 7. Okay. Sorry, my late brain is really starting to mess me up because I thought I really messed that one up, but we're right. We have 292 trays. They each hold 7. So when you multiply, you can do the standard algorithm where if we have to carry anything or regroup anything, we can write it under here. Or you could do 3 partial products. You could do 7 times 2 ones, 7 times 9 tens, 7 times 2 hundreds. Either way, it's totally up to you. So 7 times 2 ones is 14. You should be saying these as I'm doing them. Using your multiplication chart if you're unsure. 7 times 9 is 63, plus 1 more is 64. Make sure you cross that out. 64, look at my answers there, 64. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 6 more is 20. So how many can they hold? 2,044, that has a little shadow on it, I don't know that you can see that. 2,044 rolls. That's how many they can hold. All right, now I want you to look at the back. In the back I already have written out on these. All right, so, except where I erased. All right, look across these. I want you to see it, especially as we do the first one. See if you can figure out a little bit of a pattern, kind of see what it is that they're trying to do. Okay, so 43 times 2, that's one we should be able to do mentally. Either 43 plus 43 or 2 times 3 is 6. And then 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, so it should be 86. All right, now 43 times 20. Well, that's times 2 tens. I just did times 2 ones, and it was 86. And then it has the 0. Cover up the 0. It's back to the same thing. So I know 43 times 2, I just did it. That was 86. Put that 0 back on. It's 860. All right, well, now they're doing 43 times 22. What do I need to do? All I need to do is add. I just did double-digit multiplication using partial products, 43 times 2 ones and 43 times 2 tens. And I just add them together. 0 plus 6 is 6. 8 and 6 is 14. Carry that one. 8 and 1 is 9. The answer is 946. All right, let's do the next one. If you didn't catch that already, try and do it real fast. Like as I'm talking, try and go ahead. All right, so we're to 32 times 3. 3 times 2 ones is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, 32 times 20. Now, it's 2 tens. In this one, we only did 3, but that's okay. It's not just adding the 0 here. That's the only thing we're having to notice. I can still cover up the 0. 32 times 2, or 32 plus 32. 2 times 2 is 4. And 2 times 3 tens is 6 in the tens place. And then what do I do with that 0 I covered up? I put it back on. Now they want to know, what's 32 times 23? What do I have to do? So my partial products, I'm just going to add. And even before I do this, I want you to look at something. Do a little bit of mental math. This 96 here, it's almost 100. How many away from 100 is it? 4. So in your head, add 100. 640 plus 100 is 740. And I know that it's only 4 away, so it's 4 less than that. Our answer should be 736. Let's add and see. 6 plus 0 is 6. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry my 1 up there. 6 plus 1 is 7 in the hundreds place. It's 736. We did that correctly. All right. Last one of the multiplication. 21 times 4. You really can't see that very well, I'm sorry. But you have it on your paper, so it should be okay. Remember that anything multiplied is like repeated addition. 21 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21. But these ones I should be able to do in my head. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 84. Really messy looking. Right here's an 8-er. All right, 21 times 30. What am I covering up? I'm going to cover up that 0. I don't need it right now. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And then I need to uncover that 0 and put it back on. Now, 21 times 34. What do I have to do? Add. So 630 plus 84. 4 plus 0 is 4. 8 plus 3. I know it needs 2 to get to 10, so 1 more is 11. 6 plus 1 is 7. It's 714. All right, let's look at the adding and subtracting. All right, the reason that I put these on here is because some of us have got this and we've got it down and we're great. Some of us have got it, we don't practice it enough, so it's really getting difficult, and some of us are still struggling. So it doesn't matter where we're at, it just matters that we need to get in practice. So when you see these on here, I want you doing them. If you are not done, if you are not, like you can't catch up as we're going, then I want you to listen. I want you to watch what I'm doing. I want you to try and figure out, where do you make mistakes? And then I want you to use time today when we're doing practice with math facts. I want you to finish it, or I want you to take it home and I want you to finish it. Not because I want you to have homework, but because I want this mastered. Not just like, ooh, I can try to do it. I want it mastered. You see it, you know what to do, you can explain it. By the time we go home from 4th grade, like we're ready for summer, I want us all to be 4s on this. That means I know my adding and subtracting facts, and I know what to do with these. So make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you are asking questions, whether you're asking of the sub, you are asking at home, you are coming over, you can ask me. I'll stop what I'm doing with the other class to explain it to you, or I can explain it to you again when you're in my room. It doesn't matter. Make sure you're asking, all right? So I'm not really going to give you time. I'm just going to go through it, show you how I do it. If everybody in the class needs to stop, then you need to stop the video. and work on it together, or work on it with a partner, or have someone explain it. All right, so doing the first one there, 9 plus 4 is 13. I know those really fast because whatever I'm adding, I know it's just one less than that and another 10. So 1 made 10 and 3 more. All right, 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 6 more is 15. And I'm just carrying, I'm regrouping and bringing it up. See, 9 plus 4 was 13. 9 plus 6 was 15, just like that. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now I'm in the thousands place. 4 plus 5 is 9. 5 plus 4 is still 9. And 6 plus 2 is 8. So read my answer. 899,453. Good. All right, let's go on. If you have a major question, ask now and pause the video so you guys can get that answered. All right, 8 plus 6 is 14. 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 1 more is 13. Carry this up here. Okay, I have 8 plus 7 plus 1 more. Well, 1 and 7 makes 8. Now I just have a double. I know my doubles. 8 plus 8 is 16. 4, 5, 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. 5 plus 3 is 8. Plus 1 more is 9. I'm going to put my comma in there. Read that answer with me. 956,634. Okay? Now we're going to do the subtraction. I'm going to erase these ones on the top for multiple reasons. 1, because that just gets to be a lot of numbers up there. 2, because if you don't have them, I want it blank on your paper. Okay? You're not in trouble. It really is. Hey, this is how we are getting where we need to go. All right? Show your sub. Show me. I don't care. It can happen for the next 10 days if that's what needs to happen. Every day, let's go over it till we figure them out. All right. Notice our sign. We're subtracting. Okay? Be very careful. Some of you are still looking and going, oh, 9 minus 0. It's not what we're doing. Go from the top down. 0 minus 9, I can't do that. So I borrow from the next place value over. I'm taking 1 10. So now they only get 6 10s and I get 10 1s. 10 minus 9 is 1. 6 minus 5 is 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. 8 minus 7 is 1. 1 minus 3, I cannot do that. So I'm borrowing all the way over from the 100,000. I'm borrowing 100,000. So now they only have 800,000 left. And I have 11 10,000s. Okay? So 11 minus 3 is 8. 8, 9, 10, 11. Just to check myself. 8. And then 8 minus 5 is 3. Read that answer. 381,511. Okay, let's go to the last one. 2 minus 9, I cannot do that, so I have to borrow from the 10s, 7 10s, and now I have 12 ones, because I took a full 10. I borrowed a 10, that's 10 ones, and I already had 2 ones, so now I have 12. Okay, so there's 3, because 12 minus 9 is 3, 7 minus 1 is 6, 1 minus 9, I cannot do that, so I borrow from the thousands. Now they only have 3,000, and I have 11 hundreds. Okay, so 11 minus 9 is 2. 3 minus 4, I can't do that, so I have to borrow. They have 7, now I have 13,000. 13 minus 4, I can see right here. Hey, this is a 10 and 3. So 3 of them, well, that gets me down to 10, and I still have 1 more to go. 1 less than 10 is 9. 7 minus 5 is 2, and 7 minus 1 is 6. Read that answer. 629,263. Okay? All right, look at your word problems quickly. I don't have them written. I just want to show you something. You should have circled your numbers in there, 3 and 30. It says Samantha received an allowance of $3 every week. By babysitting, she earned an additional $30 every week. How much money did Samantha have in 4 weeks, combining her allowance and her babysitting? So the numbers that you circled were 3 and 30. underline the question and read it with me. How much money did Samantha have in 4 weeks, combining her allowance and her babysitting? And then box in the keywords. There's 2 of them because it's a 2-step problem. So what are they? Every means the same as each. What did we say each was? Multiplication. So you're going to multiply. So above every, put an X. And then what's the other one? It's one we don't use a lot. Sometimes it'll say and, but this one is combining. It means taking 2 things and putting them together. Combining means plus. Okay, so on your paper you have these. You don't have to do it this way, but I just want you to see it. Sometimes the tape diagram scares us, and it doesn't really need to. All it is a picture that we're writing. So it's at allowance right here. So how much does she get for allowance? $3, and she gets it for 4 weeks. So if you use the tape diagram, it would look like this. So her allowance is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. That's repeated addition. Or how many 3s do I have? 4. So 4 times 3 is what? 12. That's how much she gets for allowance. For babysitting, she gets 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. How many 30s do I have? 4. So I can do 4 times 30. Well, that's the same as 4 times 3 if I cover up that 0, right? So she gets 12, and then I add the 0 on there. So 4 times 30 is 120. That's what she gets each week, every week. Okay, this is how much she gets for babysitting, this is how much she gets for allowance. Now if I have to combine them, I'm going to add them. So I know that she'll get $132 after 4 weeks. All right, look at the very last one. Joe goes to the store and buys milk. Calculate the total amount of milk in 3 cartons if each carton contains 236 milliliters of milk. So what did you circle? Should have circled 236 and the number 3. It was the word, but don't forget those, okay? And then underline the question, which is, it's not written in a question, it's a statement. It's telling you calculate what? The total amount of milk in 3 cartons. Okay, they're saying how much milk is there in 3 cartons. That's your question. Okay, so you should have that written out 3 times, or have known, what did you box in? If each is the key word. So that's multiplication. 236 times 3. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Make sure you cross those out so you know you added. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. So it's 708 milliliters of milk. That's how much there are in 3 cartons.